Good morning. Um, I started before I got my thoughts together, but that was the point. And now I look stupid. But just hit the gym, leg day. It is 10:11 a.m. Got the hard shit out of the way. Um, Not really, but about to go to work. So I have a little bit of time. I have to clock in at 10:45, and the uh, station is only like 5 minutes away. So um, I'm just gonna talk about the shit that's on my mind every day. Before I was thinking about like, okay, let's come up with topics as they pop into my head. I'll write them down in my notes, and then I'll go and like address them or whatever. But I don't think that's the right way to do it because when I do that, the thought isn't fresh in my mind, and it's not something that I've been thinking about. So it's like harder to recall the things that I want to say about it sometimes, and usually it's harder for me to get on a roll. So what I was thinking about yesterday was like, and just lately in general is, um, and a lot of this shit is going to be cliche, and I don't care. This is for me. Cliches are cliche for a reason, and like, if they feel cliche, that means you just don't get it. So I'm going to dive into one of those. So the cliche is love yourself, like. And the real big thing that I've heard before that I didn't like fully believe or get is that like the fact that you're like when you're judging others, you're really judging yourself. And when you're hating others, you're really hating yourself. And that's hard to understand if you don't understand like what it's trying to say. Like you might think, no, those people are different than me. I hate I hate them because they're assholes. Or like, I'm judging them because they're doing this. I'm not doing that. So like, how can I be judging myself for that? The thing is, like, your judgments are all based on your own worldview and your own experiences, right? So there are judgments out there that exist that you do not employ on people, right? Like, I'm sure you understand that. Like, other people judge people in ways that you do not judge people, and you're like, oh, why are you doing that? Uh, like for example, like if you're not racist and you see someone that is racist and they're like judging like someone for their race and like looking down upon them, you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what's going on there? Like, I don't get it, like I have my judgments, but it's not that. Like, that's absurd. That's ridiculous. Another example would be like fat people. Like maybe you are fat and you see people that like you accept your own body and you accept other people as the way they are. And you see other people that are super fit and they judge fat people and you're like, or bigger people will say, and you're like, I don't get that. Like, why are you judging them? Just love people. Like, what's wrong with just being the way you are, right? So my point of saying all that is that your judgments are not like um, they're not some truth or anything. They're not some like, this is the way the world is, right? Your judgments come from you, from inside, from your own internal stuff. So like at some point in your childhood or in your life, you decided that this is a bad trait. And the way that you decided that, almost always, I feel, is you saw it in yourself first. And you were like, oh, I hate that about me. And then you start fixing it, or you start addressing it, or maybe you don't. Maybe you continue to hate that part of yourself subconsciously, and you just project that onto other people. And you're like, you're doing that thing that I hate about myself. Fuck you. You are doing it wrong. You suck. And then you look at the other people that aren't doing that, but they're doing other things that you don't judge them for that are bad, right? And you're like, that guy's got it going on because he's not doing the things that I judge people for. So it's this set of criteria that you put on people and yourself that is so arbitrary and nonsensical. It's not some truth, and it's not some like inherent thing. It's like your experience led you to judge yourself, and then through judging yourself, you're like, well, that guy's doing it. Why can he do it and I can't do it? Fuck him. So like, if you love yourself, if you fully accept yourself for what you are, no matter what, like the things that you judge yourself for, right? Like me, I'm antisocial. Sometimes I'm bad with people to people interactions. Sometimes I have an ego, and sometimes like in conversation, I don't know when I'm like putting my ego out there too much, and I'm like trying like I have a developed methodology for conversation that like is too ingrained in my brain from childhood, from when I was like a crazy egomaniac, and I've had to slowly prune out those things. And that's just an example. So like, if I can just accept that, okay, you don't actually have to like consciously worry about those things. Like you can fix them, but you don't have to be like, every time they happen, you're like, oh, you fucking dumbass. You fucked up, dude. Oh, never do that again. You know, it's like, that is the self-hate. And that's what leads you to judge other people for doing that too. Like in the future, when you see someone make that same kind of little specific mistake or specific little ego thing in a conversation or whatever it is, you're going to judge them and you're going to be like, I fixed that, or I've addressed that and you haven't, and you're fucking up, you know? When you should be like, oh, that guy is in the same spot that I was, and he probably doesn't even know that he's doing that. And like, I should probably find the gentlest way, the most non-ego-centered way to address that to him, so he knows, you know? Not in a way like, hey, change this about yourself, dude. It's like, hey, dude, like, just so you know, like, blank, you know, I don't know how to say it, but you know, the point is, if you love yourself, you can love others like so much easier, right? Like if you fully accept yourself, then you have nothing to judge. You have no other, you have no judgments left. Like, what am I going to judge other people for if I love myself fully? If I love myself, I can see every other person as me, you know? Now you can take that too far. And like for the example that popped in my head is like the lady that, this dude like killed her mother or her sister or something and went to prison for life or something. And she went and visited him every day in the, or I don't know what the whole story is, but she was like visiting him and trying to like come to terms with it and talking to him and all that stuff. And I think the story goes like he got out of prison, you know, he got released and then like immediately went and killed that girl. So don't be naive with it, obviously. Like, but you like it's a difference between accepting and judging and like being blind with it, right? Like accept others until they wrong you, and then if they've wronged you, then learn from that lesson, right? But you don't have to judge them. You just have to be like, okay, I'm not gonna fuck with that thing anymore. I'm done with that. I'm cutting it out of my life because I don't want negative stuff. I don't want negativity in my life. I want positive stuff. If you love yourself, all you want is love. All you want is positive stuff. So why would I want that bullshit? Anyway, that's a big deal for me because I've never loved myself, really. Even when I was an egomaniac, that was a defense mechanism for the things that I saw wrong with myself. You know, it's like, okay, well, I may not be good at this, or this, but at least I'm smart. At least I'm smarter than everyone else, you know? And then that was like an ideology that developed very, very young for me. Like I remember in like kindergarten or first grade or something like that, I remember having the thought of like there's other kids in my class and some of them have a really hard time with some of the stuff that I have a really easy time with. Like, you know, math or like just stuff in school. And that, like, I started drawing a connection right there. I was like, you know, I have this distinct memory of the classroom and the specific kid that was having trouble with some math that, you know, I found very easy. And I found that very confusing why he couldn't figure it out. And on the way home, I was walking home from school and that kid was with me and we were walking through some apartment complexes and he branched off to go home. And his home was right there, first floor of the apartment complex. I could see his front door and his front door was fucked up. His front door was like ratty and like swung open and like chipped away and fucking stuff spilling out and stuff all over the porch and shit. And I remember thinking like, whoa, fuck. You know, like I didn't know that this existed or whatever. Like I didn't have we grew up poor as well, you know, but at least my family like tried, you know, and some people don't have that. Some people do not have a family that really cares and really tries, even in their bad circumstances, you know? So, and I don't remember how quickly after that I started developing an ego, but I'm pretty sure it was around second or third grade when I started getting a little chunkier. And then that started getting pointed out to me by other kids. you know, not in a super malicious way, but just in like a drawing attention to it. Like, oh, you're different. You're fatter than everyone else. You know, you're different than people. And I'm guessing that led me to be like, okay, well, I know for sure that led me to be that, to think this, but I'm saying, I'm thinking it around second or third grade. Okay, at least, you know, I might be fat. Maybe I'm different than other people, but I'm smarter than all of you. So I don't really care, you know? Um, and that's where I hung my hat, bro. It was like, okay, well, I'm just going to be the smart guy then. I don't care about my weight. I don't care about my social ability. You know, I'll be an asshole, whatever. I'm just the smart guy. And that was the, you know, the judgment that I made on myself and led me down this path of like, okay, I'm going to cope with this is what it is. And it wasn't even the case that I'm smarter than everyone, right? I tricked myself into thinking that. And it led me down a path of Dunning-Kruger, like fucking just overconfidence for like a majority of my life so far. And only a few years ago did I start coming out of this. And I just I think about like, dude, what if I didn't make that judgment? What if I didn't decide that, you know, I'm smarter than everyone and that's all I need, and you know, let's lean into that heavy, hardcore. You know, if I didn't do that, I would probably be in a far, far better position than I am now. Loving yourself is the bottom line, bro. Like, you have to learn to love yourself. You have to. It's an absolute necessity. Oh, hopefully, I'm betting that the fucking mic has been going through my AirPod this whole time, and I'm sorry if that's the case. Hopefully not. But yeah, dude, that's been big for me lately, is because I still hold those judgments within, you know, like, and it's a cascading thing because like I make this decision that, okay, I'm going to be the smart guy, and I don't care if I'm sociable. I don't care if I'm, you know, fit or whatever. You know, I don't care if, you know, people like me. I'm just going to be smart, and that's all I need. That's all I care about. And that led me down a path of being an asshole, you know, and not on purpose, but it's just like, you know, people don't like people that think that they're smarter than everyone, right? Because you're not. And that led me, like I said, down to being an asshole. And I didn't realize that I was being an asshole. So when people reacted to me in a certain way, that was like, you know, that kind of thing, but like very subtle and very real. It was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, why are they acting like that? What is going on? I didn't understand that they could see right through me, that I'm playing this game where I think I'm smarter than them. And that years and years of that, and not seeing that they think that they can see it, that they can see right through me, led me to be like, okay, there's something inherently wrong with me. Because every time I have a conversation with someone, they give me this face, or they like blah, 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 blah. And I don't know what it is. So that leads to self-esteem issues. And that led to the fucking antisocial shit. Because I was a super social kid when I was really young, like, you know, first, second, third grade, all that. I had a bunch of friends. We were like always talking, and always like, I was so comfortable being myself. But I made that decision. It led me down that path, and that cascaded into, okay, antisocial, further just deepening that fucking, okay, I'm smarter than them. I don't care if they like me. And just digging myself in a hole deeper and deeper and deeper until all I have left is my own self-hate and this idea that I'm a fucking secret genius or something. And yeah, dude, it's just so much anguish that I could have avoided had I not judged myself in the first place. Had I not judged myself in the first place, I could have avoided all that. And it's not to say that, hey, dude, you fucked up, or man, it's over, you ruined it, right? It's to say that now your job is to love yourself. Now your job is to find out, like, dig through all that bullshit and realize that at the base core, you were fine. The way you were fine. You just have to strip away all that bullshit that you added, you know? Love yourself, bro. You are capable and you are lovable. You are just the same as anyone else on this planet. You are a soul that was born into this world. A baby, bro. Do you fucking go and judge a baby? What is that baby? How is that baby judgeable? You know? Everybody started from the same place. You're a baby coming out of the birth canal and you were exposed to the fucking world, right? You might be exposed to different circumstances, but you're exposed to the world. Everyone is. So take that and be like, if I can love anyone else on this fucking planet, then I can love me, right? And it starts with me. If I can love me, then I can love anyone else on the fucking planet. So yeah, that's that. I think that's it. It's been going on in my head a lot lately. It's really hard for me, but I'm getting there, and I'm for sure making progress on that. And these videos help a lot with me. So, just talking stuff out rather than like letting it circulate in my head and putting it out there. And then usually I go and rewatch these videos too, and that helps a lot. So, yeah, if you did watch this video, thank you. And I hope that you can love yourself. And I hope that you got something from this, and maybe you can see how judgments are fucking poison. Like any judgment you make on anyone is poison for yourself. And also it's illuminating. You can, anytime you monitor your judgments, you can see like what that says about you when you judge someone. So like internally you look at someone and you're like, she's fat or ugly or like whatever. And you're like, that was a baby, bro. That was a baby that grew up and had circumstances, and they like, what is wrong with you? Like, how can you fucking judge that person for something, especially that they can't fucking control, you know, like being ugly? Like, who cares? Who fucking cares? Like, none of that shit matters whatsoever. Money, fame, looks, fucking anything. None of it matters. We're all the same. We are all just a human on the planet. So love yourself and love other people. And see you tomorrow.